Canadian Alliance National Capital Region.
Who's straight? Who's straight? Who's straight? Right on. All right. Everybody, I'm just going to share my spot very quickly. Just 1 minute with Christine Jones, my very dear friend from the Canadian Peace Alliance, because it is about peace, my friend. It's about peace and love. Go ahead, sister.
So, this government is spending more on militarism since World War II. If you think that C51 has no relationship to Canada becoming more militaristic, I encourage you to go online and read the Canada First Defense Strategy. Did you know that for every single one of the F-35, we could build a hospital? We could hire a generation of nurses in every one of our towns and cities. We could hire generations of school teachers in every one of our towns and cities. And most importantly, we could ensure that there is just transition to green jobs. We can ensure that there are pensions and health care for every worker in this country. And let me tell you what happened in the C20 in Toronto. Who was there? People, that was the frickin' 12 runs for what they want to do with C51. If you really, really want this to change, you have to make the same commitment you did to getting out here today and door knock. People have to vote!
What a segue. All right, so I just want to say one thing. C51 is a very nasty piece of legislation being passed by a very nasty, pro-corporate, right-wing government. This government does not trust its institutions. It no longer trusts its employees. This government does not trust the people of Canada. Therefore, this government is not to be trusted. And a government that cannot be trusted must be defeated. So I want to know right now, if you are from Ottawa or the National Capital Region, raise your hand. Right now. I'm looking at you, sisters and brothers. Monday, day after tomorrow, the Travel Lodge on Calling Avenue, 6:30. You be there or you be square. Nobody's got something more important than to talk about the defeat of this government. I want to see you there at the Travel Lodge on Calling Avenue. Just show up, because you're going to crash this party, and we are going to crash this government. Sisters and brothers, we got to do this, and we got to do it now. And we are going to do it in solidarity. 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 Thank you, sisters and brothers.
Please welcome Emmanuel Tremblay from the Canadian Association of Professional Employees.
Bonjour tout le monde. Bonjour tout le monde. Alors, je vais dire quelques mots en français. Je suis la présidente du syndicat qui représente les analystes, les statisticiens, les économistes, dont la fonction est de donner des conseils à ce gouvernement. Ce gouvernement ne veut rien entendre des conseils que mes membres veulent leur donner. 5 years ago, when they gave up the long-form census, this government used the argument of intrusiveness for saying that the long-form questionnaire was too intrusive into Canadians' lives. This, of course, was a load of bullshit, because what they're doing right now is hundreds and millions of times more intrusive into the lives of everyone here, everyone in town, everyone across the country. We cannot let them intrude behind our backs. We have to stop them. And it is happening in October. We will not be defeated. On les met à la porte le 19 octobre. Solidarité! Toronto. Thank you. Remember Chicago and Scott Mohican. I'm from the Bald Eagle Clan. I'm Cree from Manitoba. I'd like to thank the Algonquins on the territory which we are extending this rally today in this message. Greetings from Toronto. I just want to say that, as Indigenous people, we've been fighting oppression for 500 years. We see terrorism. We see terrorism when government attacks our peaceful protests and names as terrorists when we're standing up for the land and protecting the land to protect it for future generations. So the waters around our Indigenous communities are on boil water alert, and the water around the Athabasca tar sands are being poisoned, and the animals and the fish and the people are suffering from cancers that they've never been heard of. So tell me who's the terrorist today. Harper, you're the terrorist. We will not accept your guilt. You will see us. We will be relentless. This will not end here. We will continue to take a stand against your abusive policies and legislation you wrap up in bills and tell us that you're protecting our security. We already know by witness how the people of this land have been treated. That two-year nation-to-nation agreement that you continuously, willfully, blindly do not take this stand with us and honor those treaties in that nation-to-nation agreement. So I'm going to tell you, people, wake up. Your civil liberties and your freedom and democracy is on the chopping block. Take a stand against Bill C51. Senators, do not vote it in. You have this momentous time in history to take a stand for the liberty of the people of this country. And let us remember the nation-to-nation agreement and honor those treaties. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to invite Linda Kasicek from I Am the War, Ottawa, to speak. Ontario.
Hey, that was awesome, you guys. Thanks so much for showing such great respect to the two-real wampum. That is from the Haudenosaunee. I don't know if we've gone over the actual meaning behind the wampum with you. Yes? Okay. So, what you saw was 2 rows of purple wampums on a white background. Those 2 rows of wampum indicate 2 ships traveling down the river of life. And they don't interfere with each other, which was so important for us to keep the white background in between the purple, because the ships go and they're both going along and they have their own laws and their own languages and their own ways of thinking. And although they're perfectly in line with each other, they never interfere. Bill C51 is changing that. That treaty, that belt speaks of a time when the sun no longer shines, it won't work anymore. Well, guess what? Maybe it isn't today, but every other day the damn sun shines. And so as far as I am concerned, the true wampum still applies. And for you guys to carry it with such respect and for us to be able to bring it up here, I think was so momentous, and I thank you, Miigwech. The only other thing I want to say is don't forget to vote!
Please welcome Bar Arar, who's doing a spoken word poetry for us. Welcome.
A poem starts with a lump in your throat, an itch you can't reach, a children's bedtime storybook. A poem starts in the discs of your spine. A poem starts in your arteries and continues through your veins. A poem starts with the vibrations of your voice box. A poem starts in the well of your tear ducts, and a poem starts in solitude. A poem starts with the sound of rain on tin roofs. A poem starts when the crowds assemble and the sun rises, and with my limited understanding of the world, that means that there is a continuous loop of poetry. They say everything can be taken away from you but your mind. I say everything can be taken away from you but your poetry. A poem starts when we realize we bleed the same syllables. A poem starts when we realize our ears only speak of music notes and solidarity. A poem starts because our tongues speak in the same staccatos. A poem starts in the airport of our diaphragms and lands on the tarmac of our tongues. A poem starts with the candle on Galileo's work table and becomes the fire in Einstein's brain. And a poem starts
cuckoo clock in the ladle of your belly as it strikes noon, a poem starts. And with the wailing of mothers and children cheering for their favorite soccer team, a poem starts. When we pick up pens instead of guns and throw words instead of grenades, when we curl our tongues around phrases instead of curling our fists. Poems are the rhythms of revolution, the anthems of the oppressed, but poems are not about politics. You see, this is not a poem about politics. This is a poem about people. Poems hide in clever ways, hitchhike to places that they do not know. Poems are cave paintings. Poems are nomads. Poems come in raindrops and pomegranate seeds, and I can swear to you I have seen haikus written on leaves. Poems are the prayers whispered into Psalms. Poems transcend castes, and even though Muhammad can never marry Priya, at least he can write her a poem. You see, poems are the love letters of widows and widowers, and the epitaph of mothers. You see, I love poetry like I love people. We are pieces of stories, mouthpieces of stories. Some people read in between the lines to decipher motive. I read the scripts of your larynx to see into your past. You see, people are libraries of thought. People are the archives of heartbeats. Poems are the archives of our heartbeats because the pens have lifted and the sheets have dried. Remember, this is not a poem about politics.